LA Chargers making some moves just ahead of Week 3's matchup at home against the Denver Broncos. Check it out here on Chargers Syndicate. Bolt up, as always, Bolt fam. How are we feeling today? It is I, Jake Silva, here on Chargers Syndicate, giving you everything LA Chargers news and so much more. If it is your first time ever here on the channel, I encourage you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep you up to date on future and past Chargers Syndicate videos. Of course, as we're on the road to 1K, we are already at 736 subscribers here up on YouTube. As you know, this video is brought to you by GreenGridiron.com. Get your hands on one of these puppies, life-size and customizable miniature helmets of your team, your style, your way at GreenGridiron.com. And remember, at checkout, use promo code LACSYN. That is LACSYN at checkout for your exclusive discount here at GreenGridiron.com. Alrighty, Charger fans, I'm super stoked and excited for this next up-and-coming matchup, the last of the AFC West Revenge Tour here before they got to play the New York Giants in Week 4. The LA Chargers are off to a pretty good hot start. Now, there are some things that have been needing to get cleaned up. But, however, the LA Chargers recently ended up making 3 moves, which on top of the latest news that came out about Khalil Mack, who will be potentially returning this season. So the injury is not as significant as most people thought, but he will be out for a portion of 4 games at best. So the LA Chargers, the first move that they have done is they have officially signed up Tony Jefferson off of the practice squad to the 53-man roster. Now, Tony Jefferson was responsible last night, or the last matchup, against the Las Vegas Raiders, where he finished up with 5 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and an interception. So Tony Jefferson, as you know, hardest working guy. Everybody loves him up and into the building. Definitely a Greg Roman favorite from Baltimore. But Tony Jefferson still has the instincts, still has the coverage reads, and somebody that can contribute in a big way for a veteran presence up and onto the defense, which will look to double down and continue their hot streak after their win against the Vegas Raiders 20-9 to improve to 2-0. Now, one of the news that the Chargers ended up doing with Khalil Mack now being sidelined for 4 games onto the IR, the LA Chargers decided to sign defensive end Clelin Ferrell, who after ended up working with the team, successfully loved what they saw and decided to bring him aboard. Now, Clelin Ferrell, the former 4th overall pick with the Las Vegas Raiders, last year ended up recording 3.5 sacks in about 14 games with 26 total tackles on top of it and a forced fumble with the Washington Commanders. As you know, in 89 career games, has 159 total tackles, 84 solo, 17 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. My big thing with Clelin Ferrell is he is a very good low-risk, high-reward type player. You can set him up everywhere. And now, of course, with the Chargers, with their defensive front, with Teair Tart, Naquan Jones, Deshaun Hand, this defensive front is really going to look very underrated for a lot of teams in the NFL. Now, Clelin Ferrell being plugged in will give you the pressures, give you the really good stops against the run. We remember seeing this multiple times with his tenure with the Raiders, and it's unfortunate he came into a situation where the entire defensive front outside of Max Crosby was not completely solidified. So Cleveland's been kind of bouncing around here and there from the league. But to bring him aboard as a very good complementary piece while Khalil Mack is on the sidelines, this is where it's a perfect opportunity for the Chargers to really take advantage of it and see if the high reward really does come out from a low-risk type signing standpoint. And finally, the Chargers made another signing of a veteran pass rusher as they have signed Rashad Weaver to the practice squad. Now, Rashad Weaver, we know, could potentially have an opportunity to come aboard the Chargers 53-man roster depending on injury. But what's kind of interesting about Rashad Weaver is he's only been in the league since 2021. 4th-round pick out of Pitt, and his only best season was back in 2022 with the Tennessee Titans, where he played 16 games, 27 total tackles, 9 assisted of them on top of the 18 solos he's recorded with 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. So I feel like this could very much be a rotational piece, low risk, high reward type signings, where if Rashad Weaver and Clelin Ferrell really do work out, I trust Jesse Minter all to the best of his capabilities, especially with the scheme fits that he's run, that has worked in at up to this point to start the season. So I think watching guys like Clelin Ferrell, I think these are pretty good underrated signings. Rashad Weaver, who comes in, very good depth piece for the Chargers in case if injuries do decide to end up coming in. It is an interesting situation, but I do feel like these guys can contribute. It seems to me like this is such a Harbaugh type deal to where you're getting these guys that really did not end up working out in the past for certain teams, but then come in and all of a sudden they have a completely different identity the minute that they end up signing with the Chargers. So maybe Clelin Ferrell could end up coming into a situation where he could either earn his spot and earn his role, or maybe would end up being a part of a pretty underrated rotational piece with the edge rushers that the Chargers have, with Khalil Mack being sidelined, having rookie Kyle Kennard, Tuli Tuipulotu, and of course with Bud Dupree as a part of all of the rotation. So should be interesting to watch up from there, but can't wait to see these guys end up taking the field as they have their first official home game in LA against the Denver Broncos. That's going to do it here for me on Chargers Syndicate, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button. We're on the road to 1K here on the Chargers Syndicate channel. Appreciate all of you guys for checking out this video. Like and comment, share with me your thoughts on these signings as well, as I am signing off, and we'll see you guys up on Sunday taking on the Denver Broncos. Bolt up all the way.